The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there leading them is their fourth-year quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we'll see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
He hits Baldwin right side. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. They'll look to throw here on first down. Flushed out right. And he slides to avoid the hit. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This is complete. It's Baldwin. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 81 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolute... Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 20 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Stephon Tuitt came out at Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
And now back out comes the offense. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go.
And they'll run it here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. Only person happy now, the punter. Gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And on the ground they go with a running back, finding some room at midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
But they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll go down at the 28. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll set up to throw. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
He'll look to throw, and this one's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. he did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
1 quarter in the books, and they've got it here with a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
All right, here we go. Blue, land it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Green 39. Green 39.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. And we peek at some of his work from this game where he's nearing. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what second down brings.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Well, I've got to give him some credit there. He tried to sell the out route. He tried to sell it hard. And as a receiver, what you're really trying to do is maneuver a defender inside to give yourself a little more cushion breaking to the out. But how about the defender reading it really well, not buying the fake or the maneuver inside, and getting to the sideline and helping break up the pass?
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game. because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Here we go now. Green.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll make it third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They're going to look to throw. It's caught by Herndon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Pass interference. Defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
So let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
If you rank 1 from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, 1 from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they've got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31-32. They better be careful, or they're going to be top 30 in the league.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. Past the 20. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Chris Herndon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are able to strike for 6. So they go play action, 3 tight ends out there in the heavy set.
Well, they showed everything that suggested running play. Just what you mentioned, 3 tight ends, heavy formation, able to go play action off of it because if you're a defender, you're thinking it's a running play with that much beef on the field.
But they passed it, and they got 6 out of it. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. This quarterback now, he's hit on just 5 of 15 throws, a poor percentage, but it's 1st and 10.
Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. We talk about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Looking to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and they get to the football. It's blocked. Now, so much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
However form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Now let's go.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, 5 out of 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Now, that's the way to do it. hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Greer. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they...
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, here we go. Blue, land it.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Here we go now. Blue, land it. Blue.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Here we go.
On third down, that's Gregory. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
So they bring out their punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Elsewhere, a third-quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Russell Wilson with 1 touchdown pass thus far. They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll set up to throw. And that's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll set up a throw to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. You give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. In for the score. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to that end zone real fast.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Now a play fake here on first down. Pass incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And oh, it coughed it up. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to Toronto, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. On third down, it's Gregory. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Holmes. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
They'll begin the drive with a Ajayi. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. His throw incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays.
All right, here we go.
Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Here we go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, it's Gregory. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Holding. Offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. You're just going to pick up a holding call.
Back to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding. Offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw here. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw again. And now another one thrown incomplete. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
Here we go now. Green.
Looking to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Looking deep downfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal. Short yardage, it's the fullback Miller. No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on fourth down?
And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Greer. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. They'll look to throw here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them.
Offense.
Not easily done.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one goes for 24 yards.
What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Time for a break. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And they'll run it here. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And they'll send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Holmes. And they're able to get this one across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Yeah, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
And no reason for that from any wide receiver.
Oftentimes, you don't even hear the snap count, right? You just look inside, make sure the ball moves, then you take off. How he didn't do that is beyond me.
Now back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hicks. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to have a third down. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Set. Green 39.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got